The United States Senate is about to begin debating our fifth coronavirus relief bill. We haven't seen the bill yet. Senator McConnell's drafted it. I have a pretty good idea what's going to be in it. There are three provisions. These aren't the only provisions in the bill, of course, but there are three provisions that I feel definitely will be in the bill and probably will pass if the final bill passes. Number one is additional help for unemployment compensation. We've got about 300,000 plus people in Louisiana who are out of work through no fault of their own, and their unemployment is about to expire. I do not believe that the United States Congress will extend unemployment at the same level, the extra $600 a week. The Congressional Budget Office has done an analysis for us and has found that 80% of the people drawing unemployment right now are making more on unemployment than they made in their job. I don't blame folks for taking the extra money. I just don't think it's a good idea to incent people not to go back to work. The only way for us to our economy to pull out of this is to get the economy back open again, and we're not going to get it back open if all of us are at home watching Netflix. We're just not. We've got to get back to work. But there will be some additional level of unemployment compensation. Well, we need our state governments to help as well. We need the Louisiana state government to step up here. Louisiana state government can borrow money at 0% interest, no interest from the federal government, and put that money in the state's unemployment compensation program as well. And I'd like to see the governor and the legislature do their part as well. The second provision that I anticipate ultimately will be in the bill, if a bill passes, is additional money for elementary and secondary education, and more specifically to help our K through 12 schools open safely. I know a lot of parents are scared about sending their child back to school. If you don't want to send your child back to school, you shouldn't. And you shouldn't be forced to, and I don't believe you will be forced to. I happen to believe that keeping our schools closed is going to hurt our kids far more than the coronavirus ever can, particularly given the fact that our kids just aren't that susceptible to the virus, and if they get it, they don't seem to get that sick. I know our teachers and our other people who work in our schools are concerned as well, and to them I'd say, if you don't want to go back to work, that's between you and your school board. I just believe, and I think science supports this, that keeping our schools closed is going to hurt our kids far more than the coronavirus ever can. The third provision that I'm fairly confident will be in the bill and will survive if the bill ultimately passes is my bill. It's Senate Bill 3608. It simply says that states and local governments that have already received money in past coronavirus bills that we've passed, and Louisiana's received well over $3 billion. My bill would give states and local governments more flexibility in how they spend that money. I think that portion of the bill will get 90 plus votes. There'll be a lot of other provisions considered. At this juncture, I can't assess the odds of what will and what won't pass. If we don't finish the bill before the August deadline, then we ought to just keep working until we resolve it one way or the other. The final point I would make is that cost is a factor. It's always a factor. We've already spent about $6 trillion, including the extra money added to the balance sheet at the Federal Reserve. We don't even have 5% of what we spent. We're borrowing $1 million a minute to run the federal government. That's between $1 and $2 billion a day. And we've got to pay that money back. and we're basically spending our kids' future here. They're going to have to pay this money back, and we have to be mindful of the cost in everything we do.